Hi, I'm Joey, and welcome to the Christmas edition of The Discussion. If you like what you see here today, I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow and like us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for all future and exclusive content. All right, so here we go. To the left of me, I have Josh, and to the right of me, I have Ampadu, our co-hosts. Amazing people, amazing man, amazing woman of God. And we have two guests with us today. We have Sadaf, and we have Dimitri. Welcome to you both.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super fun.
So, 'tis the season. Christmas time.
Yes.
Amen.
You guys ready?
Yes, we are
Just
ready.
around the corner.
Now,
Yeah.
when we say ready, are we talking like ready, or are we talking like ready in our spirit? Because I am in no way ready.
Why you have to over-spiritualize me? I'm saying like, spot.
I'm in the Christmas spirit. I have purchased almost nothing. I have two gifts. In fact, we have a Christmas party next week, and I still haven't bought the Christmas gift for it. So
You talking about the Christmas party that I'm going to be at?
yes.
Amazon Prime.
I'm going to act like you.
But no, I am a very procrastinative man in general. And so when I need to do things, I do them best at the last minute. So
I'm the
that
same way.
is going to
I'm
be a
the same
great
You
gift.
haven't bought a gift either?
No. Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Right.
Well, for
Two-day shipping.
us normal folks who don't have Prime, because we like to conserve and be good stewards of the money that God gives us, we buy our gifts throughout the year and use regular Amazon.
There's no sales.
When you
during the
say
year.
throughout the year,
Yeah.
if you
Throughout
get
the
something in February, they're going to buy it because they want it.
No, you got to get see, that's not a creative gift. We're not getting into it. We're not getting into it. Anyways, Sadaf and Dimitri, how you guys doing?
Doing good.
Yeah, did you guys get all your Christmas shopping done?
I did almost.
Yeah?
Almost. Okay,
Almost.
well, that's pretty good. It's only
The
whatever
13th?
day it is.
The 13th.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I did the shopping, but not the decorating. My Christmas tree is like half decorated, so that's a project for.
If I'm not mistaken, you sent me a picture about 2 weeks of your tree
Wow.
undecorated.
Called
Yes,
out
yes,
on the
yes.
All right?
carpet.
It is what it is, man. I need to be accountable to you as a fellow tree decorator. Get your tree decorated.
Yes.
Do you
right?
decorate your tree or does Lori?
I
Plead the
didn't
fifth.
ask you.
Okay, I'm just trying to just be clear here. Let's you said as a fellow tree
I'm having a
decorator, and I'm
conversation.
not
I know
sure.
this is a group podcast,
He's
but I
saying
was
A and B.
I'm telling
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Do you have the ornaments bought at least?
Yes, everything is purchased, but it's just sitting in boxes right now. But in my defense, the outside is decorated a little bit, so I did some lighting. So
that's ahead of me.
Yes,
That's ahead of
You
me.
got
so
your-
I could legitimately turn things on from my iPad right now if I
No,
wanted
really?
to. Yes,
Ooh.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay,
look
that's,
at you.
high
that's
tech.
next level. That's
Cool,
next
man.
level.
yes, but
Nice.
the tree's not decorated.
So you got your blow up Snoopy. You can just turn on.
not to that extent, but
okay.
Do you have a Santa Claus?
no, just some basic lights.
Rudolph.
Yes.
Are you like a roof lights only, or do you
For
do
now,
door
for now,
frames too?
for now, yes, and then over time,
Oh,
I'm gonna
all right.
invest
I like
more and
that.
more
I
and
like
more.
that.
But taking it easy for now.
That's
I
good.
just moved in. So.
Wait. How long ago?
Well, officially a year ago, I bought
Okay,
the place.
that's-
But I started living there like 5 months ago. So
Would you redo the house?
yeah,
Nice. You better have the family at your house this year.
yes,
Or mom and
yes.
dad. Oh,
that's
is that
nice.
happening?
That's happening.
Oh, that's
Yes.
great.
Yes.
I saw
That's
pictures
great.
of some of the work he did. It's incredible.
Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Flooring and walls and everything.
Your
Yeah.
dad does good work.
Yes, I'm thankful for my dad. It's a season to be thankful.
Yeah.
right?
It is a
So
season to be
Yeah.
so yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
So is that the new tradition that's being started, or are you back at your parents' house next year?
No, I'm probably gonna, or at least bounce back and forth.
Okay. Yeah, I know you
Um,
didn't tell him yet. I get it. I don't want to
Yes.
put you on the spot.
Yeah, 100%.
So-
No, but it's good. It's
Dimitri,
good.
you're from Belarus,
Yes.
correct? And do you celebrate Christmas any different over there than here?
I mean, it's complicated. It's complicated, I would say. It's very similar. So to backtrack a little bit, I was born in Belarus. And when I was 4, I moved to an island off the coast of Russia. So my parents were also born in Belarus. My dad went to Bible school. And after they got married and they had me 4 years in, we moved to an island right off the coast of Russia called Sakhalin. It's literally right above Japan.
Is that a Belarusian island or is that Russian?
It's technically part of Russia.
Okay.
So like during the Soviet Union, that island joined the Union. But originally it was part of Japan. So it has a very rich history. There's actually a lot of people of Asian descent that live there, but they speak Russian, which was
So
very...
It's like a melting pot, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
So did they join or did they take it? Just be honest. Right now.
Yeah, probably. Let's be real. Let's be real here, right? But yeah, so when I was 4, we moved there, and my dad was a pastor, and kind of I grew up there for 5 years, and we moved to the States when I was 9. So I did experience some childhood over there. In terms of like our Christmas traditions, they're very similar to United States, but a lot of the cuisine and the food is quite different, I would say. One interesting thing is we do celebrate Christmas on a different date. Like the Western culture, yeah, like in the Western world, we follow the Gregorian calendar. Whereas over there, and like the Orthodox Church, they follow the Julian calendar. So Christmas is technically on January 7th.
Really?
Right, exactly. So I would celebrate the New Year's and then Christmas. Yeah, and like because of this, because that,
Interesting.
yeah, exactly. So like because that island was part of Russia, and before Russia, Soviet Union, a lot of like religious expression was really persecuted. Like my grandpa was in jail for being a Christian for like 4 years or so on my dad's side. So Christmas wasn't really celebrated kind of broadly, unfortunately. But New Year's was. So growing up, we would always have, like, being Christians, we would have like 2 holidays versus everyone had one.
Yeah.
So I would always love Christmas because it was like New Year's would end and then you would have Christmas like 7 days or 6 days later. But yeah, in terms of like the food, being born in Belarus, honestly, I can speak on behalf of just like Slavic people in general. Like people like, so Belarus, for those that don't know, is literally in between Poland and Ukraine in Europe. And we all technically we all have different languages, but we can still all understand each other.
Wow.
You're talking about those 3 countries?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
So
cool.
like Russian, Belarusian, Ukrainian, even Polish. Polish is a further stretch because there is some words that are like intermingled. So I could kind of understand Polish, but it's much harder. But Ukrainian, Belarusian, and Russian, like, yeah, you could totally intermingle.
They like all sound the same.
They all sound the same. The words are very similar. There are differences, but for the most part, we can understand each other. So yeah, like at a typical Slavic, I would say, Christmas gathering, there's like a lot of customary dishes that one would see. I mean, my favorite growing up, we had these foods. They're kind of like they're called pierogies or pierogies, but they're basically like dough pastries filled with various like fillings, like chicken or
Oh, so you have meaty ones.
yeah, there's meaty ones. Yeah, there's
I've only had
there's all
ones that
kinds.
have like, I don't know what it is inside, but it's like soft and gooey.
It's potato and cheese.
Oh, it is just potato.
Yeah.
Okay.
Potato and cheese.
Potato and cheese.
Yeah,
so
so
we have no variety here in our pierogies. So we need you to trailblaze that and bring the
Further-
Belarusian. how do you say it? Belarusian?
Belarus?
You said?
Belarusian or
Belarus?
yeah,
Russian?
yeah,
Is that
Belarusian.
it?
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
never heard it said that way, and now all I'm
It's
thinking of is
called
that it's a prettier
Beautiful
Russia.
Russia.
But it's funny you say that because Bella is literally like
Beautiful,
it's
right? Yeah.
and in Russian, white is Bieli, so it's like a
Oh,
white
interesting.
Russian.
So it's
That's
right.
literally what it means.
Oh,
As
that's
opposed
funny.
to
I don't
Aren't
know.
Russians also
Right,
white?
exactly.
That's really
But yeah,
funny.
yeah. So like those are honestly like those pierogies were like always my favorite when I was a kid.
Would you have like a variety
fact.
platter of them?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like all kinds of fillings, like potatoes, like to your point, like pork, chicken. It's like a matter of what don't they put inside those things.
I love
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
Does everybody have like their own specialty, or is it like?
Yeah, honestly, typically just like all the moms just cook.
Oh yeah. Now is
You know,
one
fresh,
mom's
homemade.
like the best pierogi? Like, is there a fight over that? Or
Well, let's plead the fifth. You don't want to. You know what I'm saying? Like your mom's is the best. My mom's is the best for me. We got it. Yeah. I'm gonna stay in my lane.
my
You know
mom
what I'm
does
saying?
not make pierogies.
But if you ever want to try some fun plug, if you literally Google Russian store or Russian food market, there's literally one on Street Road, and you go in there. It's like really international. Just fun fact: if you want to explore that cuisine, it's readily available in these parts.
I love it.
Oh yeah, I know. I live right next to it.
Just saying. But yeah, like other types of food, I would say. They also make like homemade sausages, which are very good as well. Tangerines, I don't know why, but all tangerines are like always a
At the-
staple. Yeah, are always at the table.
Wow.
So
That's
like,
interesting
yeah,
seeing
so
that they don't-
that smell, like when I smell it, it just reminds me of
Christmas,
Christmas.
yeah.
Yes,
Oh, I love
it just makes me think of Christmas every single time.
That's great.
It's pine and
There's also
cinnamon.
salads, which as a kid I was never a fan of, and they're like, you have to have a taste for them.
Yeah.
Because they're like, some are like very interesting, let's put it that way. Like there's two, like I guess two of the famous ones I could think of off the top of my head are like olivier, which is like Russian salad if you go to like a restaurant. And it's like potatoes, bologna, peas, pickles, hard-boiled eggs. Not my cup of tea, to be honest.
Right.
But there's also one called shuba, which is like
never
really
heard of that
translated
one.
just like, it's like a fur coat. That's literally the name of the salad.
Oh, okay.
That's just
And it looks like a cake.
Yeah.
No, and
I
like,
let it mold a little bit.
yeah, not a fan. But literally, if you ever go to like visit like a Slavic family this time of year, I could like bet all my money on the fact that they're gonna have that on their table, like no matter what. And it's just like it's a
staple.
It's a staple, exactly.
Wow. Well, Sadaf,
Yes.
I'll tell you what, I love Pakistani food.
Oh,
Now, you don't have to tell as much details as Dimitri does. He obviously loves his
Yeah.
origin of his food for his country, and I
Yes.
respect that. But I personally, I adore Pakistani food.
thank you
Now,
so much,
I've
yeah.
only been able to have it at International Night at the church at Philadelphia Christian Center. Every New Year's Eve, we have our international dinners.
Yes.
And for a while, I always thought it was just African food, and then you came like, no, it's Pakistani food in there too.
Yes.
And
She
said,
you're
"Don't
like,
get it
here we
mixed
go,
up."
and then
Yes.
I just loaded my plate, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
oh, thank you so much.
So tell
Yeah.
me, what are some of the things you guys go through on a typical Christmas in your household?
In Pakistan is similar, like in we celebrate Christmas like in we doing in America, but just for the the culture, the dress code is different. Like women's wear a kind of fancy clothes, and they start shopping a lot. Like the women's they make sure to wear nice clothes, and that's what they do. But people start decorating their houses. And Pakistan, people started decorate street as well. I never saw the people decorate street here in America, but in Pakistan, since it's a Muslim country, but thank God they allow us to celebrate Christmas, build churches. Since so much going on, that the Muslim country, but thank God they allow us to celebrate Christmas.
You could decorate the streets.
Street,
What does
they
that look
actually
like?
they have a competition. Every street have a
Wow.
competition.
Oh wow.
And the one of the mayor, they give them a present. Whoever decorate best, they give a
Wow.
Oh,
present.
so it's like the
yeah.
mayor, it's like at the government level?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because here sometimes, like depending on where you go, like inner city and old town, you'll see like wreaths on the lampposts.
we can't do that. The city has to do that.
The city
Yes.
does
If
that.
we
right.
do that, we get fined.
So what level of decorating are you talking about on the streets? Like, what do you guys put up?
Oh, they put so much lights, tree everywhere.
And the people do
Wow.
it.
Yeah,
not the
like
government.
I don't know how they do it. They decorate so good. Like street, they put wreaths and they put lights everywhere. Awesome, yeah, they do.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah.
I
You go
almost
to
wanna
a
go
Muslim
now.
country.
And they
Yeah.
celebrate
And you'll learn how to
Christmas
do it
so
right.
much better.
That's amazing.
Not
showing
only
us up.
they decorate church decorate, but also every street they try to decorate the streets.
Even the ones that are Muslim, like that aren't
Because
Christian.
everywhere is the Muslim too. One house is
Wow.
Christian, one is Muslim,
Yeah.
right? But the Muslim don't care. They know that this is our time to celebrate Christmas. So even they like it. We share cake with them, sweets with them. So they also love it. Yeah.
So
Even
now-
in sorry, I'm cut you. In when I was working in a bank over there, they love to celebrate Christmas with us. I share Christmas cake and gifts with them. So that's how we
So
do.
what is the focus of that celebration then? Because obviously for us it's the birth of Christ. But
Yes.
if you're Muslim and you're living in a Muslim country, like what is it that they're celebrating on Christmas?
Or they celebrating
are
just
they-
you.
Are they just
As
like, is it
Christian.
just a time to get together, or are they celebrating Santa Claus? Like, what does that celebration look like for a
They
Muslim?
actually never visit in our churches, but we share when I'm working. I share with my friends how we celebrate, so they know that when they visit my home, so they know that how we celebrate Christmas. So they love to come in our home to see how we decorate tree,
Oh, wow.
how's going on. We invite them for dinner if they want to come. So that's how we do. Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
Cool.
That
Yeah.
is really cool.
So it's like a ministry opportunity to
Yeah,
tell
I
them
think
what
this
it's
is the
really all
right
about.
time to share about God with
It's the best.
Yeah.
Muslim and other religious.
Well,
They
yeah,
have,
it's
they
like
have
a-
This is-
Christmas carols and like Christmas music over there as
Yes, yes,
And a
every
Christmas
year.
tree?
Yes, they
Wow.
decorate every mall. Even the mall decorate too. They
Wow.
put big tree over there. Even Muslim like to go and Christmas time they want to take a
I have a-
picture near to the tree.
I got a question.
Yes.
Do they have Santa?
I was
Yes, they
wondering
do
that.
have
Because I'm
it.
wondering, like,
Yes, they do have.
If I was, I'm not giving any hints in the air to the Muslim countries, but if I was a Muslim country, I'd try to push Jesus out the way. And
Well,
put
that's what
Santa
I was
in the way,
asking.
right?
Is Jesus gone and they're celebrating like Santa
Do
Claus?
they have
or...
a nativity?
Yes, they do. And
Wow.
even the nighttime, the Santa, they wear the Santa Claus dress and they go for carol every door to door house. They know this is a Christian house. They go and sing a little bit. They open a door and then they sing carols and
Wow.
worship.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to see like who's Muslim and who's Christian during Christmas time.
Yes, they
Yeah.
because of definitely they know this is a Muslim house and
Yeah.
this is they
Right.
know
It's
that
just known.
like every church area they know this street this person is living, so they know that this area we will go and we will sing. So that's what they do the Christmas Eve.
Mm,
Wow.
that's so nice.
So in Pakistan, it's obviously had its issues when
Yes.
it comes to between Muslims and Christians, right?
Yes.
And it actually it boggles my mind
Mhm.
that the freedom that you have to celebrate Christian in a Muslim country, but yet there's been such persecution in that country, even to this day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you've been over there and you've done stuff over there. I mean, you just left. Was it last year? You were over there for a while. Or was it 2
Yes,
years
in
ago?
March this year.
Yeah,
in this year.
Wow.
Mhm.
So you were just there and you spent some time over there in ministry over there. And share a little bit of what you do when you go over there.
First of all, one thing I want to share with you, when I was been praying to go Pakistan because I have a burden to pray with my family members and the people who are not saved, especially I saw so many like people, they are going through a lot and they really need to somebody sit with them and talk with them. So I've been praying to go Pakistan. So I talked to Pastor Mendito one day. I'm going to Pakistan. I'm planning to go to Pakistan. So pray for me. Then Miss Carol know that, oh, I'm going to Pakistan. She called me on Wednesday. Come on, Sada, we will everybody pray for you. That day was a prayer meeting actually. So our whole church prayed for me.
I remember that.
And I'm telling you, God works over there a lot. So many souls saved.
Wow.
So many people receive Holy Spirit. So many testimonies. Still, I
That's incredible.
receive oh, this thing happened. I got job. I receive a Holy Spirit. This thing happened. So God works a lot. I cannot even count how many souls saved. When I preach a couple of churches and my brother is pastor over there. So it's a village area. I went over there and spent time with them. That's what God worked over there, and thankful to God and our church, PCC Church. I'm so blessed to have a member of PCC Church. So they're so helpful. They pray for us. So since we move in this church, God bless us a lot. So many blessings, so many testimonies. So thank God for PCC.
How
And
long
also-
have you been attending the church for?
We've been here 7 years. No,
7 years?
8 years. Sorry, 8
wow.
years. It's gonna
And
be
how
8
long
years.
have you been in the country?
In USA?
Yeah,
I've been here 12 years.
12 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
Any plans to go back?
No.
Not right now.
No.
But you do.
Just on visits.
Yeah, just for visit. Yeah. I have a really pain to go again Pakistan to.
Oh, no, I meant on visits. You're not going anywhere. You're
No.
staying here.
Yeah,
with us.
I'm staying
you
here.
can't
We
go
made that
back.
decision
Yeah,
for
you
you.
can't stay
I'm
there.
Yeah. So
We love you guys too
yeah.
much. Your
Thank you
family,
so
your
much.
kids.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So you shared with me one time that something you've done for years, where you save up through the year for a special cause in Pakistan, where you're where you send money over for a reason?
Oh,
Can you
yes.
share a little bit of that for us?
Actually, our tradition, like since my childhood, right? My father is pastor. He was pastor in Saudi Arabia too. He worked over there, but he was preach over there too. He always visit us on Christmas days. So our first on the week of December, our always first plan is to visit the poor families in village area. So we visit on village area where like poor people live. So my testimony is a little bit like this. I save money. I save my pocket money um, to give them gifts. So I always told Dad, this is my pocket. First time they don't know I was saving money. And every year, like I give it to my parents. Oh, this is my pocket money. I wanna share with you. So being saying my dad doing work for poor and needy people. So that's what
When did you start that? What age?
I was 8 years old.
You were 8 years
8
old.
years old.
Wow.
I was 8 years old when I started, and I'm still doing.
Yeah.
I'm helping right
Well, now
now.
you have your pockets and your husband's pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my husband is also helping
Yeah.
needy people.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he's a good man.
Yeah.
And
Is
thank
it-
God for my
Is it
husband.
something that you like think you're gonna pass off to your kids, or like do you do it now?
I'm
Being
sorry.
able to like give to the like save up money to like give to other people.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we're teaching our kids same thing,
That's
so
great.
we can keep our tradition to give them a poor.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the real Christmas, to giving others, to remember our poor brothers and sisters
Yeah.
in Christ. I think this is a real people. You know, if you see outside people busy buying shopping, buying this and that, they don't think about others. They don't think about poors.
Yeah.
So I think this is the real meaning of Christmas, to help others, see who is needy, and also check who is not saved yet. Not even
Absolutely.
giving, like our Mercy Truck is doing, right?
Yeah.
Mercy Truck goal is share the gospel, feed them, and first goal is to share a gospel.
Yeah.
Salvation is the main goal of Mercy Truck. So that's what I'm thinking. We have to remember in those days, Christmas days, we have to remember to share our love with poor and needy, whoever deserving
true.
people. We have to give them.
I think
we share our
there's
love with
something
them.
I love in that you mentioned the Mercy Truck, because we go out a lot in the spring, summer, and fall, but once we hit winter, it has to slow down just because it's cold. There's less events. But what I love about that is you guys are carrying on the heart of the Mercy Truck.
Yes.
And you're saying, even though we're not going on the Mercy Truck, we're still, we have that in our mind that we're trying to help those who don't have a chance to get
Yeah,
Christmas,
exactly.
right? They can't get it because they just don't have the means, right? So
Yeah.
they never get that Christmas spirit, right, that we call it.
Mm-hmm.
And they can never have that focus because they're focused on so many other things of just, sometimes staying alive,
Yeah.
being able to feed their kids. But when you're able to spread that and give that on,
Yeah.
it's so meaningful
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
that you're able to carry on what the church was doing, and now in the winter you're just like, let me keep it going,
Do it all the
right?
more,
And
yeah.
myself,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
teaching that to your kids. That's great.
Yes, and on the day of Christmas, we started our Christmas morning service, and every Christmas, our dads and our parents took us to the one of the poor family, needy family. We celebrate, we have lunch with them, give them a gifts. That's what our every Christmas, even not Christmas, Easter too. So this is our parents teach us to. Right after morning service, we have to lunch with this poor family. So this is our tradition over there.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
I feel like when you keep your mind focused on Jesus, then we celebrate Christmas, right?
Yeah.
But it's so easy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so easy to just get focused on everything else besides what the meaning of Christmas
Yeah.
is.
Buying the
You
gifts,
said,
everything.
Yeah. You said, well, Christmas is for, one thing that comes to your mind is giving to the needy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what do you think Jesus did for us? We were,
Yeah.
we were literally dying in our sin. you know?
Exactly.
He's like, you need salvation, so I'm going to come
Yeah.
Yeah.
in the most humble way possible,
Yeah.
and to die in the most humiliating way. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because you are that needy. And it's true. We're here for those who are in need. And we need to replicate that, by giving our lives like Jesus did,
Yeah.
That's amazing. It really is.
I actually have a thought on that. I think that sometimes for us to get Christmas ourselves, I think we have to be with the lowly or be the lowly ourselves. I don't know if you remember a couple of years ago when I spent Christmas with you guys because I got COVID.
Oh yeah.
So
No, I'm joking.
it was great. No,
Best
it was
Christmas
great.
ever.
So I got COVID, for those who don't know. And my brother was coming into town, but I couldn't go and see them because
I had COVID.
I had COVID,
Yeah,
myself.
no, I've got COVID because that would mean you have it right now.
Thank you. No. So I had COVID in 2020. Haven't had it since. But I couldn't go home for Christmas because my brother was going to go see someone who was at risk, and it was a mess. So
come and infect us. I got
exactly.
Okay.
Well, they invited
In
me.
brotherly
I
love.
didn't just barge in. But I was like really down about it, right? But then as I was thinking about it, I was like, well, this is kind of what Christmas is all about, right? They took me in and, really, really poured love on me. And I, it was so unexpected for me. I didn't do much for them, right? I just was there taking up space, but they just poured out love on me. And I think it was the first time that I really got the big picture of Christmas, honestly, because it was like, that's what the world was. It was so depressed and lonely and there was no hope. And it was like, man, we're just a tragedy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Christ comes in and he's like, well, let me take you. Let me take all of it, really. All of the hurt and the depression and the sadness and the loneliness. And then he came for us.
Wow.
Right?
Amen.
That's true.
And that was the first time that I really, really got Christmas. More than just the story, that I really got into the heart of what it is all about. And that's why I love what you guys do with spending time with the lowly, because I think that's when you really get it. Like Jesus saw the shepherds first,
Yeah.
It gives you perspective too,
Yeah.
because especially like having the contrast, like moving around so much in my life, you've like when you live in the States, like you can't imagine how privileged we are, like how much we have. Like
true.
honestly,
Absolutely.
like every day is
Exactly.
Christmas.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Exactly.
Legitimately, every day is Christmas. Like you could eat whatever you want, you could snack on whatever you want, you could, but having that true meaning behind it is helping others, being like the Lord and kind of showing that message to everyone else.
Yeah. And I feel like as you grow in your relationship with God and you better understand what Christmas is and how God came onto the earth for us, I think that's like why like I've grown up now. I don't think, oh, I want to get myself a gift. I want to give others a gift, because I feel like you just understand that giving is the biggest part about Christmas. Like it's less about the lights and everything, but it's like, who can I bless? Who can I give to? Who can I share with? Because like that's all God did for us. So now it's like, it's our turn to almost be that light in a different way now that it's this big time for Christmas and like giving. I think it's just so great, especially when you have like kids. Like I know you, Pastor Joey and Miss Sadaf, you both have kids. Like, are there any new traditions that you guys have started with your families? Like to kind of, I know you talked about like giving to the lowly, like Pastor Joey. Have you have any new traditions with your kids?
I didn't grow up with many traditions, especially Christian, because I didn't grow up Christian. And so I'm creating new traditions with myself. And I'm actually at a point now where I know it sounds funny, but I'm doing different things almost every year.
Wow.
Because I've never had traditions.
So the tradition is not having a tradition.
No, it's finding the tradition. Who am I? And so I think it's really important. You have to understand too, coming in a minister's home, and you got pastors' kids at this table, and kids that are growing up in the ministry. My kids. I didn't grow up. My kids are in the ministry with me, 24/7, and so I'm taking Christmas, and I have to highlight it on a different. I can't just make it another church day.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be very specific. This is what Christmas is about. And it's important for them to understand the meaning of Christmas and not get entangled in what the world says Christmas is about. So one thing we do with our kids is we only give them a certain amount of gifts, which is like 5 gifts. And that's it. It's nothing spiritual about the amount, because we're just not that type of people.
We always did 3 because the wise
I
man.
knew you were going to say that. But we do that because we don't want them to think you're just going to get everything you want.
Yeah.
And we want them to understand. And what we do is we actually go through, for instance, the other day we were looking at Greg Hubbard and his videos in Romania with the kids that were there. And we were talking about those kids and saying, so a lot of these kids are orphans. They don't have parents. And you have mommy and daddy. They don't have a mommy and daddy.
Yeah.
And they just kept asking questions and asking questions. And actually, they just sent a video back this morning to my kids
Oh.
to say hello from Romania.
Wow, that is so cool.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. And but I didn't show them because I don't want them to feel called there. So I want them to be home with me forever. No, I'm joking.
I was like, where's he going with that?
Oh man.
I'm joking. But it's just important for me and what I'm noticing happening in Christianity and Christmas and kids, for them to really just to understand what Christmas is about. It's about Jesus.
Yeah.
And reflecting on who that is and what he did for us when he came. Because that's the first thing that goes.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that goes. And I don't want that to go with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Dimitri, you were speaking to me about before this happened. I mean, before this podcast, you were talking to me about your dad, and I don't want to go through this podcast without hearing this story because it's such an amazing story of what God did in your dad's life around Christmas time, right?
Yeah, it was around Christmas time.
What happened?
Yeah, so for me, like, this season is always exceptional. It's a constant reminder of that miracle that happened in my life. Like, if it wasn't for this miracle, honestly, I probably would not be talking in English right now. I would not be sitting here. I would probably be back, where I was born. But yeah, like, as I've previously stated, we were missionaries on that island off the coast of Russia. And my dad was a pastor. And in 1999, he was diagnosed with leukemia, with cancer. Last stage, the doctors just like haven't caught it. There's really no room for treatment, no chemo, nothing. All he did was just take like painkillers essentially. And the pain was really bad. Like, my mom and I would literally leave the house when he would have these like spells of pain or like these periods of pain. It kind of came in waves. Like, he would be fine. He would function. He would still preach on Sunday. He would like visit people. Like, on multiple occasions, he almost got into like car accidents because he would just like phase out and just like lose consciousness. It was rough. But like I said, it was like the last stage. Like, as you may probably know, like in the body, you should have like 50% white blood cells, 50% red blood cells. It was so bad that he had 85% white and 15% red. Doctors literally gave him a month to live.
Wow.
Whoa.
So this was like November, December of 1999, heading into the year 2000. And kind of reflecting back, I'm like very humbled by like how he carried himself. Because if you can imagine, like, you're preaching to a congregation, especially around Christmas, the birth of our Savior Jesus Christ, the message of hope, the message of joy, that God can heal, God can really kind of bring you from the ashes and give you a new life. And you're saying that in the moment and in the phase of life where you're legitimately dying. Like, he didn't know whether he was going to wake up the next day.
Yeah.
And I was old enough, I was still young, but I was old enough to where I did understand everything. I could recall everything. And I kind of saw the interdynamic between my parents and all of that. But it was really bad. The pain that he described was like, if you can imagine, like having a needle and sticking it between your fingernail, like in your finger, that sort of pain all over your body. So it was really rough. He even had like an out-of-body experience. I won't go into detail for that, but like legitimately, like his soul left his body. He walked around like it. Yeah, It was just miraculous. But essentially, legitimately around Christmas time, they had a prayer service. No conference, nothing. I mean, obviously, everyone that we knew was praying about him. Like, we told everyone that we could possibly tell to kind of keep him keep this kind of issue, in people's prayers. But he was, attended a normal prayer service. It was like an evening prayer service around Christmas time. No like revivalist speaker, nothing, just normal prayer service. And he was praying, and he felt a shock go through his body. And his first thought was like, let me turn around and look to make sure that he didn't like step on some wire.
Yeah.
Taser.
Yeah, exactly. Because,
Like somebody didn't shock him.
Yeah, exactly. Because yeah, like the facility wasn't, as pristine as like we're used to here in the States. But yeah, nothing of that sort was the case. But yeah, the way he described it was legitimately like a shock, go from like the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. And yeah, after that experience, he started feeling better. He had more energy, and he started kind of, being very thankful. And he decided to go back and like to his care provider and do another checkup. And we lived in a smaller city within on that island. His brother lived like an hour away in a larger city. So the first round of tests came back completely clean. And the doctor was like, "This is impossible. I've never seen this in my career. We must have screwed something up. Like these lab results, no way." Yet, and he was like, "Why don't we have you go to this neighboring city? They have a bigger clinic. They can kind of rerun the tests and give you the correct diagnosis."
What was your dad thinking during this time?
Oh, at that time he knew that he was healed.
Wow.
He was like,
I love it.
Wow.
he had faith. He started feeling better. He like after it wasn't a thing where he spent months and then he would get treated again. Like it was literally prayer service. He felt that shock. He felt a difference right away. And I mean, his body was just so depleted. He lost so much weight that like he started feeling better gradually because like he could start eating again.
Right, as he
so
gained
like,
his
yeah,
body
so
weight and all of
exactly,
that. Yeah.
exactly. He started having more energy. But yeah, he was like, "I'm healed," and he was telling the doctor that. And he was like, "I don't know what you're talking about." He told the story. I'm like, "I'm healed. I don't really care that you've never seen this in your life, but this is reality. This is what's happening." But he was stern. He was like, "No, you have to go to this other clinic." So
So he went to the other clinic.
he went to the other
Okay.
clinic,
And they said
and
the
they
same
said this,
thing.
and they
that's
said the
great.
same
Love
exact
it.
thing. And the funny thing is, which is I'm kind of jealous for, like it's what 24 years later. He's still fine. He's healthier than me. He gets sick less often than me. So yeah,
So
like
it was 24 years ago.
yeah. So 1999 to 2000. Yeah.
Praise God.
And I just thank God every single time Christmas rolls around. Like
Listen, Christmas is a great time for healing.
Yeah.
Oh,
Think
yeah.
about it. I
Absolutely.
mean, the purpose of old Jesus coming is that we would be healed from our sin, right?
Yes.
I mean, people don't think about that, but it's true.
Yes.
That testimony should be a common testimony throughout the world
Yeah.
of people being healed around the time of Christmas. I'll tell you what.
Mhm.
Sadaf, I want to. You have a special guest here today.
Yeah. Thank you.
I don't want to say your better half
Yeah.
because,
Thank you so much.
but what you've been through in Pakistan and what you've seen in that country, you've told us about amazing things that have happened over there. About you can have churches and you can have Christmas lights and you can sing Christmas carols and your malls are decorated for Christmas. But there's a side to living in a Muslim country where there is persecution.
Yes.
And Shahid is here today, your husband.
Yes.
And I was wondering, would you share him with us for a few moments?
Sure.
And I
sure.
would love to hear that side of this.
Sure. Thank you.
Come on down.
Yeah.
there you go. Welcome.
How you doing, Shahid?
Doing good. How are you?
Good. So, you've shared with me a little bit before the podcast about some of the troubles that your country has gone through in regard to persecution, and I wanted you to take some time and share that with our audience today.
Sure. So last year, August, so it was an incident that took place in one of the small town in Punjab.
Punjab.
State. State is Punjab. So the incident was that someone borrowed money. It was like a minor thing, Somebody borrowed money from a Christian man. It was a Muslim guy who borrowed money from him. And when it's time to pay him back, that's where trouble came in because he was like, he didn't want to pay him. Okay.
Who didn't want to pay who? The Muslim didn't
The
want
Muslim
to pay?
guy,
Okay.
Muslim
All
guy
right.
didn't want to pay the Christian guy because he borrowed money from him. That's what the story came off. And instead, what he did was he burned down their Quran, Islamic book. He burned down a few pages and threw them in the street.
Ooh.
And a couple of ladies were like grocery shopping, so they picked it up and they were like, "Oh, they call it blasphemy." So that's how it started, and it took place in that area so radically that they burned down 20 churches.
Oh,
20?
wow.
20 churches. 20
When,
churches
when did this happen?
last year.
Wow.
Last year. So the persecution, why? And I lived in Saudi Arabia too. We faced few incidents there, but the Pakistan is like next level when it comes to spreading their religion, especially Muslim religion, Islam. They go beyond anything to cross their point or get you converted. It's like here in America too, right? Go check out your prison. How fast that religion is spreading.
Yeah.
It's true.
My dad actually, he's a pastor, and he preaches, in prison. And a lot of times he don't get a chance to preach because there's like a Muslim service going on.
Yeah.
So they have like all the good reasons, all the good way to do it, like spreading money, like here, small incident that, for example, that I used to work in Dunkin' Donuts. I was a manager. And one day it was like a West Philly area, 52nd and Walnut. So a lady came in with her, all that abaya, they call it, head to toe, she was covered, And she came in, asked for coffee or whatever, and I gave it to her, and then she threw money like that to me. And I was like, it's like disrespect. I can't touch you because I'm Muslim. No problem. Same lady walked in 2 or 3 months later. I kind of recognized her, and she was wearing different clothes. Not Muslim. I was like, what happened to the? She was like, oh, it was just an advertisement I was doing. I was getting paid $1,000 a month to do that.
Wow.
So this is how,
Wow.
this is how far they can go to spread the religion,
Wow.
or
And
and
use money to do it.
yeah. And my wife mentioned like the way this decorate our it's a town wise, like Christian towns. That's where we do that. Now people are more educated, and let's say they try to not compete, but impressionate like other countries. So now they do that, like to they also like one more thing to mention here. On 25th, Christmas Day, they have one of their leaders' birthday. I don't know if it's true, but they just put there to give a day off,
Celebration.
a holiday,
To steal attention.
So no, to give a day off to the workers,
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're
So
saying.
make
Okay.
it like a national holiday. Yeah,
Wow.
so that's another thing. Yeah, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Did you ever experience persecution while you were over there? Or did you grow up mainly in Saudi Arabia? And then
Yes, Saudi Arabia. My dad is a pastor. I mentioned that first. So he
especially
was,
as a pastor.
Yeah.
he was working because in Saudi Arabia back in the days, I'm talking about like 2000 and 2005, 6, around that time, like you're not allowed to take Bible in through like proper
Really?
channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
If they
wow.
see Bible, they pick it and throw it in the trash.
Wow.
So my dad, he started working with another pastor. He's still there, actually. The Indian pastor is still there, still working. There's a lot of people that converted to Christianity, Saudis.
Yeah.
He did a lot of work there,
Yeah.
still doing it. So my dad worked with him to, they used to get Bibles smuggled in,
Wow.
in all kind of languages. We used to have Bibles in our house, like a rack full of Bible, all different languages. I used to, go myself and give it to the people, those who need it, So firsthand experience the persecution. We were at the guest house. There was one of our pastor. It was his birthday, so he's preaching. When you rent a place, it's all yours, right? For the time, the period of time. Somehow that information leaked out, and back then they used to have a religious cop,
Mm-hmm.
those who check So religious cops, policemen, their job is to, if you're outside at a prayer time, they're gonna force you to go in and pray, regardless.
Whoa, really?
You know, that's their job is to keep
Only
up.
if you're
in Saudi Arabia.
but if you're Muslim, you can pray.
Yeah, I mean, I got away once.
With,
You know, I
Oh,
showed
you're
my
saying-
ID. I was like, I'm Christian, so
right.
I was like, yeah, but stay in your car. Don't get out.
Okay.
If you don't want you to, walk around, you can't walk around. You have to be in a mosque or in your house.
Oh, so they're like enforcing the
yeah.
Muslim religion on people, and
Yeah.
if you're not following, they like
Yeah.
arrest you.
So
Yeah.
really,
Wow.
religion is law there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
in those two countries, like
Yeah.
it's my first time experience. So back to the story. So he was preaching on the stage. We had like all nation people there, like people from Australia, Asian, us, like Indian, Pakistanis, and we got raided.
Mm.
Yeah, they jumped over the walls and start,
What does a
yelling.
raid of a church actually look like?
Not church. It wasn't a church.
It wasn't a church.
No, it was not. It was like a
Like a
building we
house?
rented. Yeah,
Okay.
the building
Okay,
was
okay.
we rented,
Okay.
and it was a private place.
But to have
Right.
church,
But
Yeah,
you
but
were
you
having
have-
church there, though, right?
It was like a
So
service.
When
right?
they do that, are they looking for something specific, or are they just trying to instill fear?
I had no idea why they were there and what kind of information they had.
Mm.
Interesting.
But the pastor who was preaching, he had an American passport.
Mm.
Wow.
So,
Well, that's beneficial.
yeah, honestly, that actually helped us.
I'm sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Because he took a blame on him. He was like, they're my
Oh.
guests.
They just kicked him
Mm.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm pastor.
Hmm.
So if you want to take me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they
did
put
they
us-
deport him then, or what?
No, they
Okay.
can't. American passport.
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
amazing, isn't it?
More of the story, have an
That's
American
the power.
passport.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He was back actually in 30 minutes.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, he came back
Wow.
in 30 minutes. But after that, they were after us because they knew that we are doing something.
Mm.
If they caught us like preaching or so it means like we are doing something. So we came back home. We put all our Bibles, everything in in one of my car. And we parked the car far away from our house
Wow.
because you don't want to get caught.
Sure. Totally.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. First of all, thank you for coming. I mean, you guys are amazing.
Sure.
Sadaf.
Thank you
amazing.
for inviting us.
Thank you so
It's
much.
amazing.
We'll have you back for different topics in the
Sure.
future. But hearing what you just said there, I still think the best gift sometimes you can give somebody is a Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Think about that. You know what I mean? It's like we're like Bible. What do you mean giving a Bible as a gift? But like, it's the best gift a person could have.
Yeah,
And
that's
maybe you're out there and you know somebody that doesn't own their own Bible.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to. Now's a chance. What better time than to now find a Bible for your neighbor, for your friend, for your family member that is wanting to know Jesus, and say, listen, Jesus gave himself as a gift to us. I would like you to read about that if you're up for that, and give them the best gift they could possibly have, a Bible, right?
Yeah.
Amen.
It's the best gift we could have,
Amen.
and it's the Bible that'll take them right into eternity. I'll tell you what.
Amen.
I love
Amen.
it.
And I want to thank you all for coming and being a part of this. And Merry Christmas to you all, and Merry Christmas to you. And if you're watching, please follow us on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Make sure you like all of our stuff and share it. And thank you for being a part of us today. And Merry Christmas to you. Not Happy
Merry
Holidays.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.